Okay, Neil. So I was very much impressed by this work of yours in Berlin because it's very strong. I mean, the issue you're raising are very strong. It's like a punch in your stomach. Would you like to speculate on it?
Basically, I'm not, like the word ironical, I'm not sure I would use for it, but what basically like it was an experiment. It's normal people that I found in the street or in bars or in Paris, and it was like basically nothing is written. So what was interesting to me is that like to bring like G8 conversations or geopolitical conversations are highly mediatized. So, but we only have pictures of the rooms and then a sum up. But at the same time, politics or geopolitics became like trash TV in a way, like trash talks in bars, or it's super, how do you say, demagogue, does it work?
Of course, yes.
Or populists, and people in bars have political discussions. And I had this thought that if when you give a mic, like when you say to someone talk, he can become president in 3 seconds. Like if we like people wants to say what they think about politics. So I was interested in, and also we are in a society of where we keep on defending democracy and saying that's the systems that we have to apply everywhere on earth, and that's what humans have to deal with. And so I was interested in playing that system and bringing real people, and I was a bit, and the game rule was a bit perverse. So basically the same way Margaret Thatcher or many actually leaders use to solve a local problem, use war outside, like either to have the country together, either to get more money, or like we are used to the system of solving a local problem by an outdoor enemy, or getting money, like creating an economy of war or something that that rise economy locally. So I gave that rule to those people, and I was curious of what they would say, but basically it's like the feeling of irony is more that it's I wanted it to be borderline, a bit racist and tough, but also I wanted it to be funny, and but the thing is everything was coming out naturally through that game rule, because I asked them to be violent, but I just basically told them solve a serious local problem in your country, like housing crisis or whatever, and solve it through declaring war to someone else. And then you have to explain to me how that war, like through a rhetorical game, how that war can solve your problem. And that rhetoric game becomes that super border fascist or violent and ironic thing. But it was really a game, I mean, it was more of an experiment than of something like super, yeah.
Is it this theme, the geopolitical changes that we are witnessing nowadays, the theme you're mostly concerned about? I mean, that you're working on mostly?
I'm interested in representation of things mostly. So I'm interested in geopolitics or politics, but in how it's represented, or how the systems works, rather than my proper political views, or because they're not interesting, obviously, and I'm interested in what's basically once there are people with different goals in a conversation, this is politic, and that interests me, whether it is geopolitics worldwide or a super small issue between two people on the table. The project I'm working on now, they're more about how we, like, the gap between how we like the new trend is to rationalize everything through mathematics. Like
Yeah.
we use algorithm to fix, and algorithm might one day calculate how any human being behave, and I'm interested in that because, and they are like super subjective because they're based on intuition by mathematicians. Like they feel that they define what is tangible and what is not, and they put it into a math equation that can define stuff. And sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not, but that's or accurate, and they try to make it. So I'm interested in that. I'm doing projects around those rationalization and or calculation of human behavior, and I'm trying to, because I always like when it fails, the project. By failing, I mean like in the geopolitical one, I didn't took real politicians. I took real human beings with different cultures. So it wasn't the goal wasn't to make an encompassing work. So here I'm gonna use people like young teenage mathematicians to analyze and find equation on teenage but from another country. So there is a cultural difference that makes it political rather than mathematical, and it's also they have to find an algorithm about love. So it's like a bit not really like it's basically that's what I'm working on right now. And,
Are you going to shoot them while they're talking the same way you did with the other work?
No, I work with talkers. Yeah. So
you're working, sorry, with?
People that talk a lot.
Talks a lot, okay.
That's a problem. I try to make less bavard stuff, but yeah.
But just when is this work going to be ready by?
I have no clue. I'm shooting 2 works. Actually, 2 or 3 works this summer, and I don't know which one are gonna go out well and which one are gonna be bad yet.
Okay. Are you shooting and editing the videos yourself?
No. I work with an editor, and actually I work with. It depends on the project, but like some projects I'm alone, and some projects I work with a crew. And on those, I think, especially the other project is a bit similar to that one, but it's only on Skype.
Ah, that's what I'm doing as well.
Yeah, I'm doing a Skype conversation film.
I do it as well. You know, these projects, everything started from Skype conversation.
Yeah, for me it's more funny because maybe I'm under your apartment and we have no clue if I'm where I am. I mean, that's what interests me in it, is that like we could be in the same apartment.
Yeah.
And we have the same white background, but we act with accent to be like foreign and far away. So that's basically what I like about it. Yeah.
I'd like to tell me more about this project you're working on Skype. I'm very interested about it.
It's not gonna be really Skype, but it's just video. I was interested in making a project that is supposed to happen everywhere on Earth at the same time, but at the end that gets to be in the same place. But and it's a science fiction joke. It's like a kind of a Simpson episode. Like I'm trying to like make something a bit like that, and it's super science fiction, and it's doctors everywhere in the world talking about something that maybe is not happening, and we're gonna use a lot of CGI effect, like photo booth, to make, like, it's all about effect and special effects, and how, like, through those kind of conversations that are fiction, basically, like we don't, like, places doesn't matter, and what happened doesn't matter, and like that's what I like, because we are here way more than in a normal conversation, I guess. We are way more representing in representation. Like we choose the frame, we choose the haircut, way more than in a dinner, I guess, or something. So that's how, yeah, the thing is, and it's a really stupid scenario. It's really bad, really dumb.
Yeah, Neil, and would you like to tell us something about yourself? So are you based in Paris?
Yep.
Are you coming from Paris? Are you from France?
I'm Algerian and French. I was born in Paris, and I lived in between until 6, kind of. But I only did 1 year of school there, so I guess, yeah. And my mother lives in Algiers, and I don't know, yeah. And I studied, but I'm a pure project of French scholarity system.
Yeah. And how did you happen to become an artist? How did you get closer to the art system, or how did you decide to work within this field?
I was bad at school, so you end up going to art schools, and yeah, no, and then I became an artist because I did at school. My class was sent to Mali, and I shot Kempinski, and that thing was shown a lot and super seductive for some reason. So I got to be taken by this field before I had a chance to ask myself what I really wanted to do. But I'm really happy of it.
How do you feel about becoming so well recognized internationally? So that your work is becoming exhibited in many places. How do you feel about it?
I guess it's what is interesting is that I don't know how it never lasts long. So
it could last very long. Why not? Why not?
I think the world actually changed, and figures are not gonna. We're not gonna have a system based on strong, powerful figures. But I think that's also how politically the world is gonna adapt. The same way the cat playing piano is more well known than the last movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. It's we're gonna go to, I think, the open source world or something. But so for the moment, it's good for me because I can produce a lot, and yeah. So for the time it lasts, I produce as much as I can, and then.
What people like of your work? What do you think?
It depends on the works, but I guess it started because I was playing with exotism, and also I'm an in-between person, culturally speaking, which is weirdly, which became, I guess, in a world where everything tends to be the same, slowly, someone that already is the same as something else can work faster at the beginning. I don't know, like something like that. That's the in-between culture helps a lot because you're not localized or in the work. I don't know. Something like about exoticism and also being somewhere at a good moment, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, but you said something that now makes me, I feel like I would like you to speculate more on this thing you said just a second ago when you said that maybe a cat playing piano now is going to be more has more exposure than something like a Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
No, that's already done. I don't know what is the last Leonardo DiCaprio movie, but I saw the cat playing piano, and I think basically it might be because I think 1/3 of humanity has access to internet, and maybe 1/3 of that population that have access to internet knows that cat, or 2/3, which is a lot. And
yes, of course, it means millions.
Yeah, no, yeah, way more actually. Like it's
billions.
Yeah. So, and I don't know. It's a non-hierarchized momentum, like a moment of where I guess culture and stereotypes and figures are re-evaluating, are being re-evaluating. And actually that's why we have like a new job, which is curator, like the person that re-evaluates culture.
Yeah, the curator is actually an organizer, someone who organizes things and put things together.
Yeah, but that's what I mean is like the technician, the curator technician is more of a curator author and expert on the world's culture. Any culture, like a curator can talk about soccer, can talk about cats, poetry, philosophy, art, cinema, everything. So that's basically the syndrome or symptom of that change of hierarchy and figures, and slowly, yeah, that movement is the same that in cinema in the 30s the producer was the author, then it became the director, and then it became the actor, and then it got back to the director, and then it got back to the powerhouse Warner and studios, and that's the loop of like who represent or something. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Neil. Is there anything else you would like to add yourself? To tell something more to our visitors about yourself or your work?
Not really. Like, I think